Hi, first grade friends, it's Tuesday. Great to see you again today. Remember, you are going to need your reading fluency packet, that book that looks like this. We're going to continue to practice our reading fluency all week. Talk about why do we read and what it takes to be a great reader. We're going to talk about all of those things as we move along. You also are going to need a piece of paper or a whiteboard for word scramble. Right, here we go. Remember, we are reviewing our first grade phonics skills. There's been so many of them this year. We moved really fast. It's always important to review them. We really want to work on our spelling and our reading. Remember, sometimes we can read a word, but we can't spell it. But if we can spell a word, we can always read the word. All right, so let's talk about reading fluency. We read with fluency. Right? We read with fluency. That means to read smoothly. We also read with accuracy. That means to read words correctly. And we also read with expression. That we want to read with meaning, or we want to read with that feeling so that when our voice goes up and it goes down, we can tell what the reader is trying to tell us. We also read different texts different ways. If we're reading a nonfiction, which stars is nonfiction, it's true, we're going to read that with different type of fluency or expression than we read a fiction book. A fiction book, we might put in character feelings. So we're going to, different types of texts require different kinds of reading. But remember, in the end, we are reading for meaning. We want to remember what we read. That's why we read. All right, we're going to start off with our reading fluency. So yesterday you did a cold read on your packet on this story, Stars. We went through some of the R-controlled patterns. We're going to continue to review those from this passage. You also you marked on the bottom the number of words you got correct on that first read. You drew a line, a blue line at the beginning on the graph to mark that. And you can see we've got those numbers. So that first line, if you were confused yesterday, maybe I should have explained that better on Monday. There are 14 words on that first line. See that number 14? So if you got to the word planets on your very first read, you would say 14, 15, 16, 17. That's how you would count it up. And you can see that there are 152 words in the whole story. All right, so I also have this pulled up, and what we're going to do is I'm going to read this story to you. One of the great ways to practice our reading fluency is to listen to others read. So I'm going to read the story to you. You're going to be tracking the print along with me, reading along in your head. So let's bring up the story. All right, here it is, Stars. And you can see I've done some marking on mine. I've underlined some of my R control words that we were talking about yesterday. All right, this word I do want to talk about. I did not put it in our presentation yesterday, but this is the word serious. Okay, serious. It's the name of a star, and that is why it's capitalized. Okay, here we go. So you have your reading finger. Just like I'm tracking the print, you are tracking the print along with me. Don't get ahead of me. Try to stay with me. Here we go. Stars. When you look at the night sky, you may see many stars. I'm going to stop there just for a minute. Did you notice a comma? A comma means that you're going to take a pause. You also want to chunk your words into phrases. We can't read this whole sentence all the way through. If we try to do it in one breath, it wouldn't sound right. That's not how we speak. When you look at the night sky, you see many stars. Whew. That's really hard to do. It sounded too fast. It didn't sound smooth. So we're going to put some into phrases, 2 or 3 words into phrases so we can take a breath, and also take a look at our punctuation. Where we see commas, we want to pause, and where we see periods, we want to pause. If we don't pause at a period and a comma, sentences will run together, and then it will sound, then the information won't sound correct. So let's start again. When you look at the night sky, you see many stars. Some of these are really planets. The stars are there in the daytime. You just can't see them. The stars are further away than the planets. A star is like the sun. It makes energy. The most important star is the North Star. It is the only star that never changes its position. The North Star used to help sailors find their way back home. People think the brightest star is the North Star. It is not true. The brightest star is one called Sirius. Stars die. They burn out. They need fuel to run, just like a car. When they run out of fuel, they begin to die. They start to shrink. When this happens, it gets really hot. Sometimes a star will explode. An exploding star is called a supernova. Did you know the sun is a star? Okay, so you're going to be practicing your reading fluency with that story. So pause the video here and you practice reading that story with the same fluency. Now, you want to practice reading the whole passage, not just for 1 minute. The 1 minute timings we want to do as well so we can keep tracking that, but we also want to practice reading the whole story. So I would suggest that you start your timer. When it beeps, you make a mark for where you stop for the 1 minute, but then continue to read the entire passage. Once you have done that, come on back and we will continue. All right, so you've practiced. You did time yourself. You've added it to the Tuesday. How many words did you get correct today? And was it more than Monday? How many words did you miss? Was it less than Monday? All right, remember this week we have been doing some review of our R controls. So here we go. A-R, R control says R. Do these with me. O-R, R control. This makes 2 sounds. The most common one first, or. The second sound, R control, ER says, R control, UR says, All right, you guys did great with this last week, so we're gonna play again. I love word scramble. So remember, we've got our letters all mixed up. All of our word scramble words are going to have an R control vowel pattern. All right, take a look. Can you figure it out already? Here's your first clue. The vowel pattern is IR. So write that down on your paper or on your board. IR. Clue number 2. The ending blend is ST. Very careful with that. It's an ending blend. So now we've used the IR and the ST. The third clue. You are in this grade. Ooh, did you get it? The word is first. F-I-R-S-T. First. If I ever go too fast on the word scramble slides, pause so you can think through them. Here's your next word. Can you figure out the R control pattern? The vowel with the R. So our pattern is O-R. Clue number 2. The word has the diagraph of S-H. Shh. It's the opposite of tall. The word is short. Were you able to build the word scramble? Short. S-H-O-R-T, short. Okay, here's our next one. Take a look. Can you figure out the pattern? What is our vowel pattern? Remember, all of our vowel patterns have the R control pattern. Start with that. The vowel pattern, U-R. Did you get that so far? The word begins with the sound B. If something is on fire, it will burn. B-U-R-N, burn. Good job. Let's do another one. Okay, can you figure out what the vowel pattern is going to be? Remember, all of our patterns are R-controlled. First clue, your vowel pattern is A-R. Did you get that so far? Here we go, number 2. The word begins with a blend, st. St is the blend at the beginning of the word. Clue number 3, to begin. Did you get it all? Here's your word, start. S-T-A-R-T, start. Good work, friends. Let's keep going. Start here. Ask yourself, what is the R-controlled pattern? What's the vowel in the word? And it goes with the R. Here's clue number 1. Vowel pattern of O-R. Clue number 2. The word begins with the blend st. And clue number 3. Bad weather is a... Oh, did you figure out the word? Storm. S-T-O-R-M, storm. Excellent. Let's keep moving on. Can you figure out first the R-controlled pattern? The vowel pattern is E-R. Did you figure that out first? Let's see what's next. The word begins with F. This is a plant. The word is fern. F-E-R-N, fern. Okay, let's start with the vowel pattern. What is your R-controlled vowel pattern? Can you identify that to start with? The vowel pattern is U-R. Write that down, U-R. The word begins with the sound and it means to throw. The word is hurl. Have you heard that before? I will hurl the ball really far. Hurl. H-U-R-L. Hurl. Okay, we're reaching the end. Let's keep moving on. First, start off with your R-controlled pattern. The R-controlled pattern in this word is A-R. Were you able to get that before I gave the clue? The word begins with a blend, sk. You have an A-R pattern and a blend, sk. It keeps you warm in the winter. What keeps you warm in the winter? A scarf. S-C-A-R-F, scarf. All right, hopefully you were able to figure out my word scramble. Now, you need to, if you haven't already done so, continue to practice that story stars. Come on back on Thursday and I'll see you all then. Bye.